Have you ever wondered what really happens to your eyes and brain after spending an entire day staring at a computer screen? Today, I'm going to walk you through the hidden changes that occur hour by hour and explain why so many people are developing vision problems faster than ever before. Before we begin, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss important health information that can help you protect your body and improve your life. I want you to think about something for a moment. Most people believe screen time only affects their eyes, but that's actually not true. Your eyes are connected directly to your brain in ways that most people never realize. The retina, which sits at the back of your eye, is actually brain tissue. In other words, when you're staring at your laptop, your tablet, or your phone for hours at a time, you're not just putting stress on your vision, you are also placing a tremendous amount of strain on your brain. This is one of the reasons why people feel mentally exhausted after a long day in front of a screen, even if they haven't done any physical work. Now think about children today. A huge percentage of kids are becoming nearsighted, meaning they struggle to see objects in the distance. When I was younger, this wasn't nearly as common. We spent more time outdoors, looking far away, moving our eyes naturally, and exposing ourselves to natural sunlight. Today, children spend countless hours on digital devices, and their eyes are paying the price. The human eye was never designed to focus on an object sitting 12 to 18 inches away for 8 or 10 hours a day. Inside your eye is a tiny muscle that plays a major role in focusing. Its job is simple. It changes the shape of the lens so you can see things that are close and things that are far away. But imagine making a fist and holding it tightly for several hours without relaxing it. Eventually, your hand would become tired and cramped. The same thing happens to this focusing muscle. It remains contracted for so long that it begins to struggle to relax. During the first hour of screen time, you may not notice much. The muscle is working hard, but it still has enough energy to maintain that position. You might feel perfectly fine, and that's why many people think nothing harmful is happening. But beneath the surface, the strain has already started. As you move into the second hour, another important change occurs. Your blinking rate drops dramatically. Normally, when you're outside and your eyes are moving around naturally, you blink many times each minute. Blinking isn't just a habit, it's a built-in maintenance system for your eyes. Every blink spreads moisture across the surface and protects the eye from dryness and irritation. The problem is that when people stare at a screen, they become so focused that they blink far less frequently. Suddenly, the eyes begin to dry out. This is why people experience burning sensations, itching, redness, or the feeling that something is stuck in their eye after spending hours in front of a computer. It's not because the eyes are weak, it's because the lubrication system is no longer working the way it should. By the third hour, your eyes and brain start dealing with another challenge. Human beings evolved to constantly shift their focus. We looked at distant landscapes, nearby objects, movement in our peripheral vision, and changing environments. Modern technology has completely changed that. Instead of allowing the eyes to move naturally, we lock them into one position and stare at a flat screen for hours. This creates a mismatch between what your nervous system expects and what it's north-30 and summerfully factually experiencing. Your brain is processing information continuously, but your eyes are trapped in a fixed position. That's when mental fatigue starts showing up. You may notice difficulty concentrating, a heavy feeling in your head, reduced productivity, and even irritability. Many people think they need more caffeine when this happens. They think they're simply tired or overworked. But in many cases, the problem begins with prolonged screen exposure and the stress it places on the visual system and the brain itself. And here's something even more important to understand. The effects are cumulative. They build up day after day, month after month, and year after year. That's why someone who spends a decade working in front of a screen often develops vision issues, headaches, and chronic fatigue that seem to come out of nowhere. The truth is that the damage didn't happen overnight. It happened little by little, 1 hour at a time, every single day. Now let's continue because this is where things become even more interesting. After several hours of screen exposure, your eyes aren't the only things changing. Your entire nervous system begins to respond differently. Around the fourth hour, something happens inside the eye that most people have never heard about. Your eyes depend heavily on bright natural light. When light enters the eye, it stimulates the production of certain chemicals that help maintain healthy vision and proper function. One of these important chemicals is dopamine. And yes, your eyes actually use dopamine. Dopamine inside the eye does far more than simply affect mood or motivation. It helps support the normal structure and development of the eye itself. The problem is that indoor lighting simply cannot compare with natural sunlight. Step outside on a bright day and you're exposed to an incredible amount of light intensity. Sit inside an office building and that amount drops dramatically. Your body evolved under natural sunlight, not under artificial lighting and glowing screens. This becomes especially important for children. Kids need time outdoors because their eyes are still developing. The lack of natural light combined with excessive close-up activities can encourage the eyes to adapt in unhealthy ways. That's one of the reasons we're seeing so many children become nearsighted. Their eyes are being trained to focus up close almost all day long while receiving very little natural light. Natural light also influences your internal clock, what we call your circadian rhythm. It helps determine when you feel awake, when you become sleepy, and how deeply you sleep at night. If you're spending nearly all your time indoors and in front of screens, you're not only stressing your eyes, but potentially disrupting your sleep patterns as well. Some people even notice their mood changes during darker seasons when they don't exposure to natural light. They feel sluggish, unmotivated, or even depressed. This isn't just in their imagination. Light is a powerful signal that communicates directly with your brain and nervous system. Now let's move into the 5th hour of continuous screen use. This is when the focusing muscle inside your eye begins to struggle even more. Imagine sitting for hours with your shoulders tense and your fists clenched. Eventually those muscles become tight and don't want to relax. The same thing can happen to the muscles inside your eyes. You may stand up from your desk, look across the room, and notice that things in the distance seem blurry. Some people immediately think, I guess I need glasses. In reality, sometimes the eye muscles are simply exhausted and temporarily stuck in that close-up focusing position. They need time to relax and recover. The longer this continues day after day, the more difficult it becomes for the eyes to quickly switch between near and far vision. That's why many people experience eye fatigue after working on a computer for years. They notice it takes longer for their eyes to adjust whenever they look away from the screen. By the 6th hour, another system in your body begins to feel the effects. Your sense of balance and orientation can start to change. When you're sitting at a desk, your head hardly moves, your eyes remain fixed at one distance, and your body receives very little information from the surrounding environment. As a result, some people begin to feel a little dizzy, mentally foggy, or slightly disoriented. They describe it as feeling disconnected, or just not quite themselves. This happens because the brain relies on constant input from your eyes and your environment to maintain a sense of balance and awareness. Think of your body like a complicated machine with many interconnected systems. When one important system becomes overloaded, other systems begin struggling too. If the visual system is under stress for hours every day, the nervous system eventually feels the burden. This is why simply treating symptoms often doesn't solve the problem. You can use eye drops for dryness. You can drink coffee for fatigue. You can try to push through headaches and mental exhaustion. But if the underlying stress continues every day, the symptoms tend to return again and again. Your body is incredibly intelligent. It's always trying to adapt to the environment you place it in. If that environment consists of endless close-up work, artificial light, and very little exposure to the outdoors, your body begins adjusting to that reality, and not always in ways that are beneficial. The good news is that understanding these changes gives you the opportunity to do something about them. Once you know what's happening hour by hour, you can begin taking simple steps that help protect your vision, reduce strain on your brain, and support your long-term health. And trust me, what happens during the final hours of prolonged screen time may surprise you even more, because that's when the changes in your vision can start becoming much more noticeable and potentially long-lasting. Now we're entering the stage where the effects of screen time become much harder to ignore. After 6 or 7 hours of focusing on a computer, tablet, or phone, your visual system starts narrowing its attention. Your eyes were designed to scan the world around you. Thousands of years ago, we constantly looked at distant mountains, nearby plants, moving animals, and changing environments. Our vision was wide and dynamic, but when you spend an entire day looking at a screen, that natural pattern changes completely. By the 7th hour, your field of attention becomes much narrower. Instead of using your full range of vision, you become locked into a small window directly in front of you. It's almost like wearing blinders. You begin paying less attention to what's happening around you because your brain has been trained to focus on a tiny area for hours. This reduction in peripheral awareness doesn't just affect your eyes. It can also affect your energy, concentration, and even your sense of mental well-being. Many people feel mentally drained after a long workday and assume they simply work too hard. But part of that exhaustion may be coming from the way prolonged screen use changes the behavior of the visual system and, ultimately, the brain. Then we reach the 8th hour, and this is where things become especially important. After spending years repeating this pattern every single day, some people begin developing changes in the shape of the eye itself. This is what contributes to nearsightedness, a condition in which distant objects become increasingly blurry. What's fascinating is that researchers have discovered something very simple that seems to help reduce this problem, especially in children: spending more time outdoors. Studies have shown that even a modest increase in daily outdoor activity can make a tremendous difference. Natural light, changing distances, and unrestricted eye movement all appear to help support healthier vision. Think about it. When you're outside, your eyes are constantly adjusting. One moment you're looking at something nearby, and the next moment you're focusing on something hundreds of feet away. The muscles inside your eyes are getting exercise instead of being trapped in one position all less. This is why I always encourage people to spend more time outside whenever possible. Your eyes need variety. They need movement. They need natural light. They need opportunities to relax and recover from prolonged close-up work. Now, I understand that many of you can't simply stop using computers. I certainly can't. Much of modern life depends on technology. We work on computers, communicate through our phones, and gather information from digital devices every day. So the goal isn't to eliminate screens altogether. The goal is to reduce the damage and help your eyes recover. One of the most well-known recommendations is called the 20-20-20 rule. Every 20 minutes, you look at something at least 20 feet away for about 20 seconds. It's a good idea and certainly better than doing nothing at all. But for many people who have already spent years staring at screens, that small break may not be enough. If you could only do one thing to help your eyes, I would encourage you to spend at least 20 minutes outside every day. Leave your phone behind if possible. Let your eyes wander naturally. Don't force yourself to focus on anything in particular. Just allow your visual system to relax. Take a walk in a park. Spend time in your backyard. Sit outside and look into the distance. The important thing is giving your eyes an opportunity to break free from that constant, light close-up demand. Another helpful habit is taking longer visual breaks during the day. Every hour, step away from your screen for a few minutes and look at something far away. If you can see the sky, even better. The farther your gaze travels, the more opportunity your focusing muscles have to relax. And don't forget something incredibly simple: blink. When people become deeply focused, they often forget to blink properly. Slow, deliberate blinking helps restore moisture to the surface of the eyes and can dramatically reduce dryness and irritation. Morning light exposure can also make an enormous difference. Spending time outside shortly after waking up exposes your eyes and brain to natural light, signals that help regulate your internal clock. Many people notice improvements not only in their eyes but also in their sleep quality, mood, and overall energy. The human body was designed to interact with nature. It was designed to experience sunlight, movement, changing scenery, and periods of rest. Modern technology is incredibly useful, but it also asks our eyes to do something they were never designed to do for endless hours every day. The good news is that your body has an incredible ability to adapt and recover when you give it the right environment. Small habits repeated consistently can make a huge difference over time. So if you spend most of your day in front of a screen, don't ignore the signals your body is sending you. Dry eyes, blurred vision, headaches, mental fatigue, and difficulty focusing may all be clues that your eyes need a break. The sooner you begin supporting your visual health, the better chance you have of protecting your eyesight for years to come. Your eyes work incredibly hard for you every single day. The least we can do is give them the care and recovery they deserve. So what is the big takeaway from everything we've talked about today? 8 hours in front of a screen doesn't just make your eyes feel tired. It sets off a chain reaction throughout your entire body. Your focusing muscles become overworked. Your blinking decreases. Your eyes dry out. Your brain experiences increased mental fatigue. And over time, your vision can actually begin to change. The good news is that once you understand what's happening, you can take simple steps to protect yourself. I want you to start thinking about your eyes the same way you think about any other muscle in your body. If you went to the gym and performed the exact same movement continuously for 8 hours, eventually something would become strained. You would need rest, recovery, and movement in different directions. Your eyes are no different. They need variation. They need relaxation. They need exposure to natural environments. One of the simplest and most powerful things you can do is spend time outdoors every single day. It sounds almost too simple, but sometimes the most effective health strategies are also the easiest. Get outside and allow your eyes to focus on objects at different distances. Let them look far away. Let them move naturally. Give those tiny muscles inside your eyes an opportunity to relax. You may also notice that after spending time outside, your mind feels clearer. You feel less stressed and more energized. That's because your brain benefits from these breaks just as much as your eyes do. Remember, the retina is an extension of your brain tissue. When you care for your eyes, you're also supporting your nervous system. Another important habit is creating regular interruptions during your workday. Don't sit for hours without stopping. Set reminders if necessary. Every hour, stand up, stretch, walk around, and look at something in the distance for a few minutes. These short breaks can make a remarkable difference by the end of the day. Pay attention to your blinking as well. It may sound insignificant, but many people don't realize how little they blink while working on a computer. Slow, complete blinks help spread moisture across the eyes and keep the surface healthy and comfortable. If your eyes constantly feel dry or irritated, increasing your awareness of blinking may provide more relief than you expect. Morning sunlight is another powerful tool. Exposing yourself to natural light early in the day helps reinforce healthy circadian rhythms. Mature circadian rhythms often lead to better sleep, improved mood, and increased energy. Many people spend their mornings indoors under artificial lighting and then wonder why they feel tired and sluggish throughout the day. The body still responds to natural light signals the same way it always has. If you live in an area where sunlight is limited during certain seasons, do your best to seek bright natural light whenever possible. The goal is not to stare directly at the sun. It's simply to allow your eyes and brain to receive the light signals they were designed to receive. I also want to address something important. Many people assume that vision problems are just an inevitable part of modern life. They think that once their eyes begin changing, there's nothing they can do except accept it. But lifestyle habits matter. The choices you make every day can either increase stress on your visual system or help protect it. Your environment has a tremendous influence on your health. The amount of time you spend indoors, the amount of time you spend looking at screens, and the amount of time you spend outside all create signals that affect your body. If your environment is constantly pushing your eyes in one direction, eventually your body adapts to that environment. That's why prevention is so important. Don't wait until your eyes are constantly dry, your vision becomes blurry, or your headaches become frequent. Begin making changes now. Add more outdoor time. Take more visual breaks. Reduce unnecessary screen exposure whenever possible. And if you have children, encourage them to spend more time outside. Let them run, play, and explore. Their eyes are still developing, and those outdoor experiences may be one of the greatest gifts you can give their long-term vision and overall health. Technology is here to stay, and I'm certainly not telling you to throw away your computer or stop using your phone. The goal is balance. Use technology when you need it. But don't forget that your body was built for much more than staring at a glowing rectangle all day long. Your eyes are extraordinary. They work non-stop from the moment you wake up until the moment you go to sleep. They allow you to read, learn, connect with others, and experience the world around you. Taking care of them isn't complicated, but it does require intention. So starting today, make a commitment to give your eyes what they need. Spend time outdoors. Take regular breaks. Blink more often. Look into the distance. Expose yourself to natural light. These simple habits may seem small, but over months and years they can have a profound impact on your vision, your brain, and your overall well-being. And remember this, your health is shaped by the little things you do consistently. Protect your eyes now, and they'll continue serving you well for many years to come.